Fall is finally here and it's arriving with lots of great new records. That's what we want to talk about in this video, the most anticipated vinyl releases of October 2022. And we have a lot of great new music here for you, but also some really cool reissues. And you can pre-order or order, depending on when exactly you're watching this video, all of these records that we talk about today straight through us at 22 Sound, the independent record store in Mandeville, Louisiana. It's all on our website, 22soundrecords.com. The link is in the description of the video as well. All right, let's get this started with some local heroes. It's Gotor. They're releasing their first album since 2017, Angels Hung from the Arches of Heaven. That was actually recorded, well, you can say pretty much right down the street from us, more or less, at the so-called studio in the country in Bogalusa. Definitely one of the most anticipated metal releases of the month, I would say. But while we're in metal, Lamb of God is releasing their brand new album Omens as well on October 7th. Then we have Beyonce. Yeah, her new album Renaissance, of course, came out a few months ago, and there was a limited vinyl release too, which I think was only straight through our website, but now finally have a widespread vinyl release of that new album as well. You can get the deluxe edition, is what they call it, through us. It's on 180 gram, comes with a booklet and a poster. And yeah, it was actually slotted for September, got pushed back a little bit, but now hopefully it's finally actually coming on October 7th. Still October 7th, we have The Cult, Under the Midnight Sun, their brand new album, first album since 2016, and another big 80s rock / metal band, Queensryche, is releasing Digital Noise Alliance. Then we have to get into more current artists here. We have Dayglow releasing their third album, People in Motion, also their third album, All Bass, Blue Wrath, and Fucked Up is releasing just a little EP, just a little teaser, Oberon. Then we have some pretty cool reissues as well. Mac Miller, that's always a pretty big deal around here for us. He's reissuing his legendary mixtape from 2012, Macadelic, 10th year anniversary. And then we have Joni Mitchell reissuing her legendary album Blue. Rolling Stone called it the third best album of all time. Here it is. Now you can have it on vinyl again. And then we want to give out a little bit of a warning, just because I'm a nice guy. Warrant is reissuing their greatest hits compilation, greatest and latest. And I would say, yeah, you might not want to get it. It is actually a reissue of compilation that was originally released in 1999, but it's all re-recordings of their greatest hits. So the track list sounds amazing. I love Warrant, but these versions are not very good. Some of them really are painful. So just wanted to point it out in case you stumble upon that. Maybe wait until there's a proper reissue of either some classic Warrant albums or maybe some cool compilation of greatest hits that are actually the original recordings. Anyway, move on to October 14th, and probably the biggest release of that week will be the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Yeah, second album of the year for them. They were really productive. Return of the Dream Canteen, and just like Unlimited Love earlier this year, lots of different versions of this album. So if you check it out on the website, you can see all the different versions and what makes them different. As for instance, two alternative covers for it, or two covers altogether. So yeah, pretty cool thing. And yeah, I actually kind of liked Unlimited Love. I thought it was a pretty good album. Curious if they have more in their tank. I was really surprised when they announced it, but here we go, second Chili Peppers album of the year. Then Alter Bridge is releasing Pawns and Kings. Miki Bianco is called Blanco, I'm sorry, is releasing Stay Close to Music. Lots of collaborations on this album. One notable one, for instance, is Michael Stipe of REM. Then we have Sleeping with Sirens, finally releasing Complete Collapse. I'm saying finally because the first single after this album was actually already released in June of 2021, over a year ago. So now finally the full album is coming out. Then we have the 1975 with Being Funny in a Foreign Language, their 5th studio album. Yeah, The Enemy, they called them the band of the decade, last decade that was, so they're a pretty big deal, I guess, especially in the UK. So that's a brand new album of theirs. Another brand new album from Sparta, that's actually a self-titled album. Just in case you're not familiar, Jim Ward, formerly At the Drive-In, that's his band, wants a new band because they've been around for quite a while. So that's brand new music from them. Then brand new music also from Skid Row. The Gang's All Here is the name of their new album. First album with their brand new singer Eric Grönwall. And I have to say, I'm such a big Sebastian Bach fan that it's really hard for me to think of Skid Row without him, even though it's been forever. But anyway, I have to say, I checked out some of the tracks and he sounds really cool. Sounds a good bit like Sebastian in certain parts, but it's pretty promising. So I think we should really give them a fair shot. So if you're an old school Skid Row fan, but you love Sebastian so much like me, maybe still give him a shot. It sounded actually pretty promising. We have The Plains releasing I Walked With You a Ways. That's Waxahachie's Katie Crutchfield and Chess Williamson. Then Firestarter got a nice remake earlier this year. The soundtrack is now coming out on vinyl. John Carpenter, legendary guy, did that. And then we have a David Bowie Heroes reissue. Pointing this out because it's a little indie exclusive 45th anniversary reissue on grey vinyl, so you can only get that at independent record stores such as ours. Alright, moving over to October 21st, and that's the biggest release of the month. Maybe even the biggest release of the year, just from a commercial point of view. Taylor Swift is releasing her brand new album, Midnights. Well, she sold a lot of records last year with the re-recordings of Fearless and Red, of course, but this is finally proper new album with new songs. Again, she said she wrote them all during sleepless nights. Yeah, wonder what she has sleepless nights about, but I guess that's just in human nature. Even if you're Taylor Swift, you still have worries. Anyway, it's coming out in quite a bit of different versions. We have Moonstone Blue, Jade Green, Mahogany, and Blood Moon at our store available. So pick a color or several and get you the new Taylor Swift. Then another pretty big release, it's Arctic Monkeys with their first album since 2018. It's called The Car. Then we have one for 90s indie fans, Arches of Loaf. Yes, back with the first album since 1998. Over 20 years. It's called Reason in Decline. Then we have Architects with a brand new album, which is kind of surprising. It's only 1 year after For Those That Wish to Exist. That was #1 in the UK album chart, so a pretty big deal over there. So they already have a new album. The Classic Symptoms of a Broken Spirit is the name of it. And while we're in the UK, Dry Cleaning, one of the biggest UK hypes of recent years. They are releasing their second album already. Yeah, also the same thing for them. Their last album was just a year ago, New Long Leg. Now this one is called Stump Work. Pretty big hyped band, especially over there in the UK. But I guess they're pretty much getting a following over here as well. So their second album, let's see if they can follow up their debut album. Then one that I'm actually pretty excited about, really looking forward to, Brutus. They're I guess you can call them post-hardcore band from Belgium. Their third album has really cool, promising singles that they pre-released. Their new album is called Unison Live. Definitely one I'm gonna check out. Then we have Currency. not a local guy, currently from New Orleans, with his new album Continuance, came out earlier this year. And hip-hop, I have to say, well, we're seeing delays in vinyl releases really across the board, but hip-hop especially, it usually takes months until we even get a vinyl release, but we actually have to be happy if we even get one at all, or a proper one. A lot of hip-hop artists also, especially the little more undergroundy and should say more interesting ones, oftentimes just do very limited runs. So it's nice to see here cool hip-hop album getting a proper release. That was his album that he did with The Alchemist, maybe one of the most interesting creative producers in the game right now. Then we have Simple Minds, with their 18th studio album, Direction of the Heart. Brand new music. Also brand new music from Striper, if you remember them. It's The Final Battle, Christian rock band, maybe the heaviest Christian rock band of the 80s. I don't know. Hey, I don't know that much about Christian rock, but hey, they were pretty cool, and they're still around. Regina Spektor is releasing her first album since 2016. It's called Home, Before and After. And then we have some pretty cool reissues that I want to point out. The Libertines. Anybody that knows me knows I love me the Libertines. 20th anniversary of their debut album, Up the Bracket, getting a well-deserved reissue. And Queens of the Stone Age, also reissuing their debut album, self-titled one, and a little later in December there's also going to be reissues for Like Clockwork and Villains. Alright, moving over to October 28th, we have a new Darkthrone album called Astral Fortress, another band that just last year released a new album and is back with new music. Well, in their case, I guess it pays to just never play live shows and gives you a lot of time to write and record new music. Darkthrone, legendary black metal band, they're back with a brand new album. Another band in the metal world, or metal/hardcore, I guess, depending on how you would describe them. Dead Cross, somewhat of a supergroup with, for among others, Mike Patton and Dave Lombardo. They are actually doing a second album, which is called 2. The first album actually got really good reviews pretty much across the board, so cool that they're doing a second one. And then we have another hip-hop release. Benny the Butcher is releasing Tana Talk 4, one of the rare Griselda releases that we get as a widespread vinyl release, so that's definitely pretty exciting to get that. Devin Townsend is releasing Lightwork, and Palaye Royale is releasing Fever Dreams, and Worm, one of the biggest hypes in death metal, I would say, in the last few years. They're releasing a little EP, a little teaser. It's called Blue Nothing. It was still 26 minutes long when you think about it. That's still as long as most punk albums, so hey, still good bit of music. Then we have some reissues. A Day to Remember is reissuing Common Courtesy. Rival Schools is reissuing United by Fate. That one will also get a little bigger reissue, a nice little box for Black Friday. It's going to be, of course, indie exclusive as well. Then we have the Foo Fighters, not really a reissue, but they're getting their The Essential treatment, the Essential series of like greatest hits compilations of mainly really legendary, really big artists, and the Foo Fighters are getting a nice release there. And I have to say, I think the Foo Fighters is one of those bands where really a greatest hits album is absolutely perfect. I mean, they wrote so many big hits. I have to say, there's not one Foo Fighters album that I really love from the beginning to the end, but when you hear the hits one after one, you just, oh my god, they had a lot of them. So that might be a nice Christmas gift. Then we have Edward Scissorhands, the soundtrack getting a 30th anniversary reissue. Danny Elfman, of course, made that. And to round up this little video, we have, well, the biggest band ever, the Beatles. Revolver is getting reissue treatment, a new mix sourced from the original 4-track master tapes, and there's quite a few different versions, notably one big box set including 4 LPs plus a 7-inch plus a 100-page booklet, but there's also a stripped down basically just regular reissue of just the albums. So check out our website and you see the different options that you have as an indie exclusive in the mix as well. Alright, so that's just a little selection of many more releases that are coming out, just kind of the stuff that we thought was most noteworthy, most exciting to look forward to. But yeah, check out our website, 22soundrecords.com. You can pre-order all these records, but of course, thousands upon thousands of other records as well. And don't forget to subscribe, helps us out a lot. Thanks for watching.